This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new values, and a new experience.
Welcome to the G-Spot Podcast. I'm your guide, Katie Silcox, bringing you your weekly self-love soundbite. Join us for conversations around sex, spirit, and all things self-care. All things self-care. All things self-care.
This is a journey into sound.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
You are a G-Spot Podcast with Katie Silcox.
Hey, beautiful friend. Welcome to today's episode of the G-Spot. We are going to be working with some beautiful ancient meditations. And I'm really excited to share these with you guys. They are hundreds of years old, if not thousands, and were passed along in India in an oral tradition. And I will be leaning into the ancient text, the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra today. And I use this a lot in my workshops and in my personal practice. So we're going to dive in today, and you're going to, by the end of this podcast, have practiced a little bit of each of these 5 meditations. But before we do that, I just want to introduce my new sponsor, which is PAAVANI. And PAAVANI is, again, just this wonderful women-owned, women-run business out in California. And they are gals that I actually went to Ayurveda school with, and I use their products. I love their products. And they are made just in such a loving fashion. So we're going to give you some link in the show notes to their amazing body oils, facial sprays. They have an incredible line of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha doshic specific skincare for your face, and I use it. They have a serum, they have a spritzer, they have an all-natural cleanser made out of Ayurvedic herbs. And so if you're looking for a face care product that you can use as a regime every day, I can't recommend their stuff enough. So we're going to provide you a link to PAAVANI skincare and Ayurvedic products in the show notes. We love our sponsors. They are how we continue to provide this podcast to you guys totally for free. So we really appreciate them, and we appreciate you supporting them. So let's get right into it, guys. Here's what I love about Tantra. The ancient texts of Tantra are actually not that old if we think about how old Tantra is. And in the furthest reaches of the spectrum, I was speaking with a friend of mine who is a shaman woman, and she was telling me, you know, what's so amazing is that we don't think about this, right? We think about how separate we are. But she was saying, before the continents separated, when we were all one thing, and then there was this land bridge where people transmigrated to North America, we were all one people. And if you look, actually, you can see the resemblances in not only the way that many people look who live on opposite sides of the world, but more importantly, their spiritual traditions and practices are so incredibly similar, despite the fact that they had no access to one another, nor were they anywhere near one another. And Tantra is a really beautiful example of this. Tantra really is shamanism. And the practices were originally from the Bon people of Tibet and Nepal. And we see these practices transmigrated to the people of North and South America. And we see this connection also to people like myself who are primarily of European descent. And we see these same shamanic tantric practices showing up in the Celtic and Druid religions or pagan practices of Europe. And so I just want to remind us all, in terms of lineage, we really want to always honor the places in which these beautiful practices came, and also open up our hearts to this eagle eye vision of our oneness. And so the word Tantra, we're going to be working with the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, which if you're interested in that text, I will provide you in the show notes with a link to the actual ancient text. You can get it on Amazon. And also the particular translation that I'll be working from today, which is the one done by Lorin Roche, who is an incredible PhD, but also practitioner of Tantra. And he offers up a very loose translation, which I love because it's really practical for us. So let's talk a little bit about Tantra. We've talked about this word a lot, but I want to continue to open up into it because it has so many nuances. We know that the word tan means to expand or to stretch, and the word tra means a tool. It's like the word mantra, a mind tool. A tantra is a tool for expansion. The word also comes from the Sanskrit word tantram, which means a loom, like a loom that you would weave on. And it was related to this idea of stretching out the threads and also weaving them together. And so when you practice these techniques, what you're doing is you're stretching yourself. You're stretching your mind. You're stretching your understanding. Sometimes you're stretching your actual body. But you're also weaving. And what that means is that you're able to see the interconnectedness of all of your life's experiences and also your interconnectedness to everybody else. And perhaps most importantly for our people on the planet right now, your connection to this earth, to nature. And so Tantra is this means by which I become more connected to myself and I become more aware of my connection to everything else. And the gift of that is infinite. The gift of that is infinite. Tantra, this word in Sanskrit, has its origins in English words today that we use, such as attention, attention. The word tender, the word intend, the word intensity. And so what does this mean? It means it's about being our tenderness being activated and our attention being asked to shift and evolve and expand. We're learning to stretch our capacity to pay attention to what's true and not be distracted and confused. And so we can think about this shamanic eagle eye practice, this practice of becoming like this vast, expansive eagle or hawk or whatever bird you love, resonate with. You can just visualize that experience of being that bird and that vision, that ability to see beyond the smallness of our daily life and be able to remember why we're here, right? Tantra is also connected to this word tender and to be touched in the heart, to be touched in a way that is tender, and to tend, right? To tend to what? To tend to ourselves. To attend to all of ourself, to tend to our humanity, to tend to the fact that we're imperfect, to tend to what is human. And I love this. A lot of the work we've been doing in Shakti school is about embracing and honoring and being with all aspects of ourselves and releasing this false ideal of the false self and the perfectionism. So Vijnana, Bhairava, Tantra. So you now know the word Tantra. Bhairava refers to the Indian mythological god Bhairava, and it's also known as Shiva, also known as the part of you that can witness, the part of you that is infinite, the part of you that is beyond duality, the part of you that never dies. And then Vijnana comes from this root word jnana, which means knowledge. And the Vijnana is the practical knowledge, but it's also the body's knowledge. And so when we put these words together, we get this method for communing with the inner divinity that is made aware when we enter into the knowledge in our human body. This is beyond our gender. It's beyond our particular race or religion or ethnic background. This is the thing that all of us share, which is the fact that we're children of this earth. And we have to start from that place, according to this science. We start from this place that you and I share, this thing called the body, and that is our mother, and that is the lineage and the root mother of everybody. And we get to start from that place, and it's so beautiful. And when we start from that place, then we can come down and we can say, okay, I am embodied as a woman, or I embody as an African-American woman, or I embody as a transgender Asian man. We can come down to those next levels, and we can then begin to do the tender work of processing the emotional reality and the karmic reality and the baggage and the gifts that come from the next layers down. So this body knowledge is where we can all meet, where we can all unite. It's this lineage of love is what I call it. And when we do these practices together, we're not being taught anything, actually. We're not being given anything. We are existing in a state of being reminded. We're being reminded. And so the vibration of what you already know and already are is in your body. And so when you hear these practices, you may find one that really resonates with you. And we'll do all of them today in sort of a quickie version of each. But what I encourage you to do is to pick one of these. Pick the one that is calling you, that's vibrating you, that's touching your heart the most, and do it for a while. And I would say, I don't know how long, but have a couple experiences with it before you move on to something else. Or don't, or just do them all every single day, or do one when you feel like it. There are no rules. I also want to read the Sanskrit of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra with the practice, because it's a way of honoring the original teachers. It's a way of honoring the tradition of India from which these beautiful practices were gifted to us. And it's also because Sanskrit is magic. And Sanskrit has a way, as Lorin Roche says, that I love. He says Sanskrit massages the nerves like music. And I think any words that are spoken in the sentiment of the love field, I think they will. But Sanskrit has a particular way of being able to point to the heart. And we won't get into this now, but the reason Sanskrit can do that is that these words were actually crafted from a place of understanding where sound touches the brain and the nervous system. And so when we say a Sanskrit word like Chandra means moon, we aren't just pointing at the moon as we do in English, but we're actually moving into the field of Chandra. So the more lunar aspects of our central nervous system, the more parasympathetic, cooling, calming, cyclical, feminine aspects of who we are, and just saying Om Chandra Namaha, Om Chandra Namaha, just saying Om Chandra Namaha, you can feel it. It begins to move you into a more parasympathetic state. So this is not the topic for today, but I just want to remind you that there's power in the word. There's power in all words, and Sanskrit in particular is tuned to the central nervous system. So let's begin. The first meditation will begin with the Sanskrit, and then I'll give you Lorin Roche's translation, and then I'll give you a small practice. Shikipaikshai tit Chitra Rupa Mandala Shunya Panchakam Dhyayata Anuttare Shunye Pravesha Hridayam Bhave. Embrace each of your senses in turn. Seeing as being touched by light, hearing as immersion in an ocean of sound, tasting as enlightening, smelling as knowing, touching as electrifying, Follow the subtle pulsations into the spaciousness of the heart, intimate with the unknowable. So bring your awareness now to your eyes. And we ask that the eyes be purified by our love and our intention, and let your eyes and let your gaze move around the room as you maintain your focus on the eyes and the sense of sight. Feel your gaze light upon something interesting to you. It might be a plant you're looking at, a color that sparks your attention, a candle lit, anything really, it doesn't matter. Let your awareness just rest there for a moment, and we sense this purification of the sense of sight. You may even close your eyes and let your awareness center in on the actual physical organ of eyes. Intention plus intention, oh, seeing sight, be purified through my loving gaze. And then feel the awareness move to the ears. You can touch them if you like. Massage your ears if you like. Oh, sense of hearing, may you be purified by my attention and intention. And for a moment, let your awareness focus on sound. There will be overt sounds in your environment and subtle sounds in your environment, and even subtle sounds inside yourself. Let your awareness anchor into this place of sound. Tasting is next. Feel your awareness anchor into the tongue, and you can take a little moment to lovingly give your tongue a little love bite with your teeth. And feel this apparatus of the tongue. We ask that through our attention and intention, the sense of taste, be healed, be purified. You can choose an item of food to bring into your mouth if you'd like, and just let your awareness move into the sense of taste. And if you don't have anything, it's fine. You can simply be aware of the tongue and the sense of taste. Bring your awareness to the nostrils. Sense of smell, we ask that you be healed and purified by our attention and intention. And take a moment just to smell. What is it like to just be with this sense of smell for a while? Smelling is knowing. Smelling, this most ancient of our senses, associated with our first memories of life. Bring your awareness to the tips of your fingers and let them move across your skin. Sense of touch. Moving across your body. Bring your hands to wherever your body needs some healing touch. Touch, we ask that you be healed and purified by our attention and intention. Sense of touch. Focusing on the skin to skin brings us into contact with this most original form of love, baby to mother. When we exit the womb, many of us were brought to our mother's body if we were lucky, and many of us were not. And just feel the sense of touch, skin to skin contact, healing power. Following these subtle pulsations, intimate with your humanity. In our next meditation, Idririshena kramenaiva yatra kutra api Chintana shunye kutya pare patre svayam ninavara prada. The journey begins here with whatever is capturing your attention. Are you looking at the patterns on that wall over there? Are you daydreaming about a celebrity? Is there someone you long to cling to, disappear into, a soul who is a chalice for beauty to pour into the world? Whatever your focus, give your whole being. Gradually, step by step, the infinity from which you both have emerged will encompass you with blessings. So right now, right in this moment, begin to bring your awareness onto something that you are focusing on. What is capturing your attention? Any object in the room, any sensation in the body, any emotion you're having, any thought, any pain, any pleasure, any person. As this text asks us, can we really disappear into it a little? Let ourselves focus on it. And as you focus into it, it will begin to change. Take a moment to pay attention. Yasya kasya api varnasya purva antau anubhavaye shunyaya shunya bhutaha asau shunya akaraha puman bhave. The next meditation, think of any vowel. They are delicious. Savor the sound with reverence. Attend to where it comes from within you and where it goes to when it fades away. Discover what gradualness is. Oh, I love that line. Let's say that again. Discover what gradualness is. As you feel the full range of sound, layer upon layer, the power of sound will lead you into the power of silence. Think of any vowel. They are all delicious. So this one's fun. There are more vowels than in Sanskrit than in English, by the way. And we'll still work with the 5 that we're familiar with. And so just let yourself, if you're in a place where you can do this, great. If not, you can do it later. And I want to just say I'm going through these meditations a little quicker, but each one you can extend out for as long as you like. Feeling into the vowel, Aum. And of course, Om has all of the sounds in it. Now, if you're just listening along, that would not have been as fun. So I really encourage you to feel it in your body, discover this full range of sound layer upon layer. And you'll notice, as this text says, the more you make sound in your body, like an animal will roar every now and then, the more you will be led into silence. Sometimes we have to dance and sing to get quiet. Our last meditation, Tanudashe shunyata iva kshana matram vibhavaye nirvikalpam nirvikalpo nirvikalpaha svarupabha. Forget all of your ideas about the body. It's this way and it's that way. Just be with any area of it. This present body as permeated with limitless space, drenched in freedom. Oh, I love this one. This one is the essence of the practice we do in Shakti school that I call Body Yantra. These practices that I've given you guys in the podcast, we've done a few, and we do them every month in the Lineage of Love. And this really is the essence of these practices of Body Yantra. Forget about all your ideas of your body, thinking that it should be this way, it is that way, it is this way, I'm skinny, I'm fat, I'm old, I'm young. Forget about it and just be with it. Can you guys believe that these ancient teachings and teachers were saying this so long ago? They must have had the same issues we do. Just be with any area of it, this present body. And what happens when you pay attention particularly to 2 points, you're able to feel this, what the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra says, which is it's permeated with limitless space. By paying attention to 2 points, I'm able to feel that real sense of spaciousness, drenched in freedom. So I give you guys lots of practices that are specific to different areas of the body. And if you haven't done the Ultimate Body Yantra meditation that's in the podcast, you get it for free. Go back and do that. And if you're like, I want more, I want to do my whole body, you better get in the Lineage of Love, because it's free for our podcast listeners for the first month. As always, we've got a link for you guys. So you'll get all those practices that really go into specific parts of your body. But here's the deal. You don't need any of that, even though it's nice to have that structure. And I always find it's nice to have a teacher, and it's nice to have audible practices so I can listen to it and feel supported. But here's the thing. You don't need that. If you have your own body, you have all of the teacher. You have all of the teachings inside of you. Of course, you're the teacher and your body is the teacher. And I just want to always come back to that, how much I respect your autonomy and your spiritual sovereignty, because the true Tantra, as we've learned today through studying the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, the true wisdom lies in the body of knowledge and the knowledge that comes from our bodies. So this last meditation, I want you to just pick 2 places in your body to anchor your awareness, and let it for now be physical. So no energy work today. That's another practice that we'll do later. Let's let it be really physical. So it could be your actual physical heart and your actual gut. It could be your collarbones and your jawbones. It could be the bones in your shoulders and the bones in your hips. It could be your left hip bone to your right. It could be your right kneecap to your right hip. It could be anything. I just want you to pick 2 places in your body to pay attention. And we're just going to be here for a minute or 2. Pay attention to that space without any idea of what should be or what you think your body is, and let your body just be. If your mind wanders, it's normal. Come back to these 2 points and that limitless space in between. Beautiful. Thank you guys for practicing today with me. And as I said before, if you're interested in this, we'll continue to practice these in the podcast from time to time. We do a lot of this work in the Lineage of Love, which is free for our podcast listeners to try out. Link is in the show notes. As always, this whole year, we're going to be registering people for 2020 Ayurveda School. It's a year-long program where you will learn how to heal on every level, physical, mental, emotional. It really is medicine woman school. So if you're looking to be empowered, and you might be looking to help other people. And so we offer an Ayurvedic certification at the end of that 1-year program. We do have limited spots. Get in early. It's cheap right now. It's the cheapest it's ever going to be in May, and then the price goes up in June. So check that out if you guys are interested. And I have a team of ladies that are happy to have a little 15-minute info coaching call with you if it's something that you want to talk to a real person. We get it. I love PAAVANI. Check them out. Link in the show notes. I am still dealing with the kapha season. I don't know about you guys. It's May in Virginia out here. It is wet. I am using right now their stimulating kapha body oil. It's so good. It's spicy. It's citrusy. They also have a kapha facial stuff that I'm using. Even though I'm not a kapha, I use their kapha products in the spring and I love them. So check out PAAVANI. And when you do that, you're supporting women-owned, women-run, small lady businesses, which is literally becoming more and more my passion. So we love you guys. We look forward to seeing you next week. In the meantime, enjoy these meditations. Thank you guys.
फूटे फूल अपन सुखे